use of cyber and electronic means to commit terrorism in foreign countries is reprehensible. We condemn terrorism in all forms and manifestations and offer our deepest condolences to the families of the victims and the people and government of the Republic of Lebanon. These terror attacks are a manifestation of Israel's alarming adventurism in the region, which has endangered regional peace and security. Pakistan reaffirms its support for Lebanon's sovereignty and territorial integrity and calls upon the international community to take urgent steps to hold Israel to account on its acts of international terrorism and violations of international law. Pakistan strongly condemns the Israeli airstrikes of 12 September against an UNRWA-run school-turned-shelter in Gaza. The horrifying massacre that also included deaths of UNRWA staff is yet another crime committed by Israel in Gaza since October last year. These ongoing attacks on civilian targets, including refugee camps, also go against the spirit is no legal value in the eyes of Council resolutions clearly state that the final disposition of Jammu and Kashmir dispute will be made in accordance with the will of the people, expressed through a UN-supervised plebiscite. Any other process cannot therefore serve as a substitute to grant of the right of self-determination of the Kashmiri people. A so-called electoral process held amidst excessive deployment of security forces defies all international standards for the expression of free will of a people who remain under decades-long foreign occupation. The number of Kashmiri political parties prisoners remains in thousands, and 14 political parties have been outlawed. Holding any electoral exercise under Indian supervision is in such an environment of fear and intimidation
peaceful means to resolve the Kashmir dispute
whatsoever.
In accordance with international law
Pakistan
and the will of the people.
will continue to extend
On
political,
Gaza,
diplomatic,
both sides
and moral
express support for a just, comprehensive, and durable solution based on the aspirations of the Palestinian people, as well as the return of displaced
in accordance
persons.
with the UN Security Council resolutions.
Chairman, China
Now,
International
I have an
Development Cooperation Agency,
important
SIDCA,
announcement.
Lo Chao-hui, visited Pakistan
Prime Minister
from
Mohammad
21st
Shehbaz
to
Sharif will
25th of
participate
April.
in the high-level
In
segment
Islamabad,
for
he
the
called on the
79th
President
session of
and
the
the
UN
Prime
General
Minister and
Assembly
held
in
meetings
New
with the
York
Minister for
from
Economic
23rd
Affairs
to
and other senior
27th of
officials.
September.
The two sides agreed
He
to
will be
fast-track
accompanied by
ongoing projects
Deputy
under
Prime Minister and Foreign
China-Pakistan
Minister
Economic
Senator
Corridor
Muhammad
and signed several
and senior
documents
government
of
officials.
cooperation.
In his address at the UN General Assembly, the Prime Minister will reaffirm Pakistan's steadfast commitment to multilateralism and express support for the role of United Nations in fostering global peace, security, and prosperity. He will emphasize the importance of addressing long-standing issues on the agenda of the UN Security Council, including the question of Palestine and the Jammu and Kashmir dispute. The Prime Minister will attend several high-level meetings on the sidelines of UNGA session, including the high-level meeting on existential threat posed by sea level rise and the UN Security Council's open debate on leadership for peace. His program will also include bilateral meetings with world leaders, meetings with the UN Secretary General and President of the UN General Assembly, and members of Pakistani diaspora. Similarly, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister will also have an extensive program consisting of several high-level events and bilateral meetings with his counterparts. He will represent Pakistan at the Summit of the Future, convened by the UN Secretary General on 22nd to 23rd of September. He will also take part in several ministerial meetings, including the OIC Annual Coordination Meeting of Foreign Ministers, the meeting of OIC Contact Group on Jammu and Kashmir, the ministerial meeting of G77 in China, and the Non-Aligned Movements ministerial meeting. The Prime Minister's upcoming participation in the 79th UNGA session will be an opportunity to present Pakistan's policy prescriptives on important issues on the global agenda and reaffirm Pakistan's strong commitment to the purposes and principles of the UN Charter and international peace and security. Thank you.
तर्जुमान दफ्तर ख़ारजा मुमताज़ ज़हरा बलोच की न्यूज़ ब्रीफिंग हफ्तावार जो होती है, गुज़िश्ता रोज़ रूसी नायब वज़ीर-ए-आज़म से नायब वज़ीर-ए-आज़म इसहाक़ डार की मुलाकात मुस्बत और तामीरी रही। उन्होंने कहा कि हम तरह की दहशतगर्दी की मज़म्मत करते हैं और इसराइल